Hi guys, so recently I've come across this new kind of crafting phase as such. I've never seen it before, but it just happened to pop up on Instagram. Then I saw it on a few of my cross stitch pages that I follow on Facebook, and I really wanted to have a go, so I had a little look and I came across a black cat kit, so of course I had to get it, but I thought I'd make a video to show you the process just because it's something I've never done before. Now this is sort of similar to cross stitch, but I'd say this is probably a slightly easier craft than cross stitch. It's kind of a mix between cross stitch and colouring by numbers. So I found this kit on So and So, which is also where I buy my cross stitch kits and supplies, so I will leave a link down below for you. Now I have done a little bit of research and it seems that most of these come as a kit. Now, this is also a relatively new craft, so I don't think that there are many companies that supply a very large range of colours. So as I said, I got this one off So and So. It cost me £13 with £1 shipping, and it got here literally the next day. It was sent first class. I was really pleased with that. I'm always really pleased with So and So's service. They're always very quick to ship things out. And it came in this super long box. I wasn't quite sure what to expect. So on the front it has the black cat, which is what the kind of pattern is, which I'm doing. And then it says Midnight Cat here, and here it says Diamond Dots, which is the company that have created this, and it just says it's easy, fun and spectacular. On the side it does have the picture of the cat, so this is the bit I'm actually going to be diamond painting, which is the part of the pattern which the diamonds will go on, and the rest is just material. And on the back it does have some instructions and things, so I thought I'd open this up and show you the process from the beginning. Please excuse the state of this desk. This is kind of my crafting and painting desk, so it's a little bit dirty, but I thought I needed quite a large surface to show you. So I have actually opened it up to see what's inside. So you get this kind of rolled up, it is a material, it looks a little bit like a poster, and when you take it out, this is the main sort of backing which you'll be working on. So when you unroll this, you'll see the cat is revealed. And then there is also some instructions inside as well. So you'll see that the cat is kind of colour coordinated. The colours underneath aren't kind of the right colours which are going down, they're kind of symbols. And it's a very simple concept. You match the little symbols which are here with the symbols down the side, and it tells you what little diamonds or kind of resin circles to use. And it does have this shiny layer over top. So this kind of top bit and all this around here is just a plain material. It does kind of have the same feel as almost like a cross stitch Ada, almost like a very thick cotton. So this bit is just completely normal material, and then underneath the kind of plastic sheet you have this layer which is like very sticky, as you can see, and this is where you stick the diamonds to, so you don't need to apply glue to each kind of diamond or resin circle, it will just stick down onto there. Now I've read a few kind of posts about it, and I do follow a Facebook group which again I will link down below, and it does say to just peel off a tiny bit at a time and work down, so that's what I'm going to do. Now most people say that it's better to work from the top down, just because then you're not kind of pushing on any of the diamonds which you've already laid, and it's just slightly easier. And from what I can tell, once you've laid down this plastic sheet again, you can very easily kind of roll it up and store it to do another day. So that's kind of the backing part which we have. Then we have the instructions, which, as I said, it seems pretty simple, but I may look at those a little bit later. And then also in the box you have the diamonds, which I haven't actually opened yet. I just kind of had a cheeky look to see kind of what I was working with. So if I can figure out how to get into this packet. There are quite a few in here. The thing I wondered about this piece, just because it is, you know, a black cat on a black background, I wondered kind of how they were going to do the colours, because there is a lot of black, but it seems like there's lots of different bags of colours in here. We've got some yellow ones for the eyes. There are a few other yellow colours as well. There's also some white in there. We've got a shed ton of black, some more kind of grey colours, some lighter grey, some more black, and also some browns at the end. So there's definitely kind of more colours involved in this than I was expecting. And the back of these bags are numbered. So for example, if we're looking at the kind of outside layer of the eyes, they have a little yellow square with a plus in them. So when I go up to the side, the yellow square with a plus in it has the code A02. So when we look through here, A02, and then I know all the one in this bag needs to go onto the part of the eye that is a square with a cross in. So it's relatively simple. Again, it's quite similar to cross stitch. So they're all nicely sectioned off into bags, so you don't need to worry about finding the right colour or even guessing. That's very like nicely laid out. And you also get this in the pack as well. So this is just a little bag full of the kind of utensils. Now I have seen on Facebook that you can buy your own ones. Some people don't like the ones that come in the kit. I thought before I bought them I would sort of try the ones in the kit first and see what they're like. So there are some of these little bags, and I assume these are for, obviously if you're working from the top down, you're going to pour out some of these bags. And you're not going to use all of them other than the yellow, which is very kind of concentrated around the eye. Obviously there's like dark black at the top and at the bottom, and if you've got a bag open you don't want to lose all your kind of leftover ones, which you'll need later. So there are bags here so that you can put them in, so that's very handy and it's a nice little touch that they've added. There's also this tray for like pouring them in, and it appears that it has these like ridges in, and from what I've seen these ridges help to get the little kind of resin circles round the right way, so it's easier for you to use, and it also means they're all in one place. And it's very handy that it has this kind of little funneled part, because once you've sort of finished you can open one of these bags and very easily kind of tip them in. It does also come with this, which looks a lot like a pen, although it doesn't obviously have any ink in it. This one is actually slightly glittery, which is quite nice, and it does have a flat kind of nib as such to it. It did also come with this orange little thing, which I assume is just to help you with grip, just to make it a bit more comfy, which is again a really nice touch. And finally it came with this pot that looks a little bit like a pot of lip gloss. Inside it has a waxy pink material, and what I can tell, if you kind of push the nib into this wax, it will make the end of the nib slightly sticky and you'll be able to pick the dots up. So I think that's probably enough explaining. I'm going to have a go. What I'm going to do is, I assume this will be much like paper. If I roll it the other way from its original rolled kind of direction, it should flatten out, because I imagine doing this while it's really curly is going to make it harder. So that did sort of work. But I'm just going to begin with the top of the ears. And I think just for ease, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this plastic sheet back and just tape it down so that it's not kind of flying in my way all the time. But obviously I can take that off afterwards when I want to sort of cover it back up again. So looking at this outer layer, it's kind of like a white circle with a red cross through it, which is A08. So I found the A08 bag and I'm just going to tip it into here. Okay, so I've poured a few of them in here and I put the rest of the A08 bag into one of these like kind of lock ones, just because as you can see, once it's opened there's no way of shutting it. I didn't want these falling all over the place. Now what I may do is just cut out that little bit that says A08 and stick it in there with the bag, just so that when I come back to using them later I know which bag I need. So I'm going to try out the kind of sticky wax method and see. If you shake these, it does kind of line them up really nicely, and they do seem to lay the right way as well, which is really handy. So I'm going to give it a go and see. So there's the first one applied. That was really, really easy. Although the end of this nib doesn't feel kind of sticky to touch, it definitely obviously has some stick to it because it's stuck there really nicely. Now some people do say that it's best to use a ruler when making your first line. I think that's partly because these do come in different shapes, and some of them are circular like the ones I'm using and some of them are square, and it seems like the square ones can be slightly harder because you really have to make sure that they line up. So I'm quite pleased that this first project I'm doing is circular ones, and hopefully you can see that I've done the first line already. So that was very quick and simple to do. I'm really pleased with this applicator. I was slightly worried. Some people do actually use tweezers and things. Now the only thing I'm noticing about this is because there's the other ear over here, my bracelets and my skin is kind of sticking to that. So although I haven't actually seen this, I'm gonna try and cut the top of this so that half of it can sort of stay where it needs to stay, and then the other half is kind of exposed as such. And yeah, that works fine. Hopefully I won't come to regret that at a later date. Now I don't need to add this kind of sticky stuff to it too often. I have re-dipped it once, but it seems like it does last for quite a long time. It's very quick to do. It's definitely quicker than cross stitch. I imagine it'll be quite relaxing, and I've stuck that one slightly kind of wonky, and I am able just to kind of nudge it around and get it back into the right place, so that's good to know. If you do make a mistake, as you can quite easily sort it out. I was worried that the kind of pattern as such would show through, but these gems are just a smidgen bigger than the circle in the pattern, so they completely cover it up. I was doing some reading about this, and it did mention that you do get quite a few deformed gems as such, but I have to say none of the ones I've seen so far, I know I've only opened one packet, but I haven't seen any deformed gems or any kind of double ones. I don't know if this is possibly because I've bought this from a legitimate kind of diamond painting company rather than just a cheap one off of eBay or Amazon. But I have to say I'm very pleased with it so far. I probably will try a cheaper one from China just to see the difference, but I can definitely feel that this one has like a good quality to it. As I said, definitely quicker than doing a cross stitch. It's very relaxing to do, and it's definitely something you could do while watching television, or just while you're trying to pass some time. I'm going to carry on doing this, and I'll check in with you throughout the process. So I think I'm going to finish there for today. As you can see, I've done quite a good amount. I've covered a lot more than I would have if I was cross stitching. It's very relaxing to do, and it's also very easy. As I did mention, if you do put it in the kind of slightly wrong place, you can move it very like simply. It's not like difficult to move, so it's not like a big deal if you do make a mistake or anything. I do have a few of these left in here. I just wanted to leave a few just to kind of see how easily they'd go back in the bag using the little filtery thing. So I was going to try that, and yeah, it does work really easily. Very simple to get them back in the bag, although a few of them are a little bit stuck. I found with the wax kind of lip glossy sort of thing, it works best if you actually just kind of stab it fully in rather than just try and get a little bit off. So you may be able to see that there's like a hole that I stabbed in there, and the wax has actually gone up the end, and since I stabbed it through there right at the beginning, I haven't had to dip it in the wax again, so it makes it easier and kind of quicker to do. So I've put the plastic sheet over it just to make sure that the kind of sticky stuff doesn't get kind of stuck to anything else, and then I'm just gonna roll it back up again. These have all stuck on really nicely, and although the sticky stuff isn't like fully touching it anymore, it's still kind of protected, and when I unroll it, yep, it should not stick, so that's really good. Again, it's very easy to store just because it can roll up into this and then go back into the bag. So I'm looking forward to doing some more of that later. It's very addictive. I could have done it for the rest of the day very easily, but some of us have a degree to do. I'm gonna pack this up now, and then I'm gonna go off to uni, but I'm sure I will be coming back to this later on tonight. I'll see you very shortly with an update as to my progress from here. So I've been adding to this cap for about another hour this evening. I've done the kind of darker black bits. I'm kind of stopping around there. I'm hoping just to fill all the top bit off, but I have just begun putting in these grey dots. It's really interesting to see how all the colours are coming together. Again, much like cross stitch, it doesn't really look like much when you begin, but once you start adding in different colours and getting a bit further through the project, it really does start to come together, and you can really see the value of using the different colours. And I've also found like the big blocks, like when I was doing this black, it was easier to work in lines, and it also meant that I could kind of move the ones I'd done prior, the brown ones I'd done prior, I could sort of smush them around a little bit and get them into a bit of a straighter line. But kind of as you go, the more you add in, the straighter the lines become, and they all sort of fit together. As I said, they do move, so if any of them are slightly out of line, they do very quickly kind of get back into place. So far I'm really enjoying this. It's very relaxing. It's going quite quickly. As I said, I've done about an hour on this now, so you can see that it is quite a kind of quick process. I have to say I have been looking online today to see if I could find any more patterns I wanted to do. I did find some very, very small Halloween ones, which I will link down below, because when I was looking at them, I was thinking it would be a perfect kind of starter one if you weren't too sure. Obviously, I've done lots of cross stitch before, so I kind of knew what I was going into, but you know, it's a good little starter kit if you maybe haven't done cross stitch before and you're not used to doing larger patterns. So as I said, I will leave those ones below. Obviously, there's not just Halloween ones, there is other ones as well, but I have to say this is very addictive. So I finished the top bit. This bit went quite quickly. I did have to change colours quite a few times. I think there's around 6 different colours in this top part. I was going to cut this off, but it's actually quite handy now that it's getting longer to actually just lean on it rather than tape it. So I'm going to continue what I was doing and just kind of rip it down the middle, so I can still kind of cover one half and like lean on it while I'm over here, and then do the same thing for the other half. But I'm really pleased with how it's going so far. I think I've opened all of the colours now other than the ones for the eyes. So yes, and I am slowly decanting them all into these little bags and just cutting out the numbers so that I know which number goes where. I have noticed as well that some of the numbers, these ones over here, I've done all of the bits on the pattern which require these, because it was all kind of central around this part of the ear, and as you can see there's still quite a few left. I was worried that there wouldn't be enough, like if I lost one I would then have one missing from here, but it seems like they do give you extra, which is really good, much like with the cross stitch kits. They usually give you extra floss and things, so I'm pleased that it's not like really tight, but I'm still being cautious. I'm trying to make sure I don't lose any, just in case maybe with the bigger parts they're a little bit less generous. I thought I'd make an update. I've been working on this for about, I'd say about 3 or 4 more hours since last time I filmed. I've done it in kind of short sittings, so when I've had like a spare half hour, I've just gone ahead and done a little bit more. I think last time I filmed I hadn't done the eyes yet. I worked down, and then when I did the eyes I really quickly built up the bits around it, because the colours around the eyes are in various different small chunks. I'm still really enjoying the process. As you can see, I don't have that much more to go. I'd say I was probably about halfway, just because it widens out at the bottom, and then you've got the little port as well. Now that I have started doing this, I've absolutely got addicted, and I've bought a few more patterns, so they're on the way. They are from China, and I looked on eBay and it said that they would be here around kind of halfway through February. Once I ordered them it said they would be here for the end of March, so I'm not sure how I'm going to survive between then. Still have the full kind of plastic on, and I'm just ripping slowly down. I think What I'm going to do from now on is work just on this side so I can get rid of this bit of paper, and then I'll continue on. But I'm so pleased with how it looks. It's looking really, really effective. The colour differences are really showing up. I'm going to do some more this morning. I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to finish this today. You never know, I've got the rest of the day free, so hopefully I'll get quite a lot of this done. Okay, so I've just finished this half. I really love the way that it looks. I just realised as well on the material it is slightly lighter here, so it's kind of got the sort of shadow. I imagine this cat's kind of looking over a wall or something, so it has a very faint line, just to kind of make that bit really stand out. But this side, now that everything's kind of stuck on there, it's not sticky at all. There are tiny little gaps in between them, but I don't think that anything would be big enough to get stuck between them. So I'm really pleased with how that half looks. So now I can continue working on this side. The black bit, it was a bit tedious, but I just went in lines, as you probably could see, and it went quite quickly. I'm so pleased with the way all of these colours look. It's very hard to kind of know what's the best way to show this on camera, just because obviously they are shimmery, and I'm kind of got the light on here so I could see what I was doing, but I'm not sure if it kind of takes away from the various different colours or not. But hopefully you can see that there's lots of different shades of grey and black in this piece. And now it's time to work down on this side. I'm starting to find the plastic a little bit annoying, because obviously it's there to stop it being sticky, but where it's only stuck on this very tiny portion, it does just want to come off completely. But I'm trying to keep it on there because I have seen a few people mention that like fluff from their clothing and hairs and things get stuck on here if you leave it exposed. So I'm trying to keep it covered up. It's just a little bit tricky. I'll do up until the end bit and then I'll check in back with you. Okay, so I'm just about to do the last bit now, which is just this bit around the outside of the paw. This project has gone really quickly. I've done it in small bits over the last 3 days. I'm so excited about the way that it looks. I think it looks really, really effective. I have to say, in some photos it does look sort of pixelated, but I think that's because the photos are very flat. You can't see kind of the shapes that are within the picture itself. I did also want to mention, since there are loads of patterns that you can get online, most of them are from China, etc. But you can't really tell what the pattern's like from the picture, other than this cat one which I bought, which was from the sewing site, which did have a picture of like a finished version. I wasn't really sure I'm not really sure what to expect from the other ones which I've ordered, because they are just a flat photo. But I would recommend, I will leave a link down below, joining this Facebook group, and I believe it's called like 5D diamond painting or something. As I said, I will leave a link down below, because people on there just share pictures of the ones they're doing at the moment. It's people from all over the world, it's not just the UK, there's people from America and all over Europe, etc. And it's really interesting to see the different projects people are doing, but also from the projects as well, you can really see kind of how the finished products look. You get an idea of if like patterns are gonna look really, really pixelated when they're finished, but also you can get little kind of diamondy gems that are square. Some of them are just completely flat like a mosaic. There's loads of different types of ones and you can't necessarily tell from the online listings, so it's really good to have a place where you can see different patterns, see how they turn out, and also get an idea of what you're getting and the quality, etc. And so far, I mean, I've only been on there for a few days, but when I've seen a pattern I'd like to do myself, I just leave a comment down below asking if I can have a link, and people are really quick to either send like a link in the comment section or they direct message me. I haven't really looked on Instagram to see if there's any kind of diamond painting pages or things, but I will have a look later, and if I do find any I will link it down below for you. So I'm just going to do my last diamond painting, which goes here. And I'm finished. I'm so excited by this piece. It looks so good now it's finished. Now, as you can see, I still have like a ton of these little gems left. I've put them in little plastic bags and I've cut out the number and put it in there just so I knew which ones were which. But I have actually saved all of these bags and I'm just going to keep them because I'm sure, much like cross stitch, it will come to a point at some time where I'm doing a pattern or a diamond painting and I think, oh, I could really, you know, do with some more of a certain colour, and if I have some of these kind of saved up, kind of filed away, if I do need a specific colour and I have some spares, it'll be a lot more handy than having to buy any extras. But as you can see, it comes with loads extra. The pen worked really nicely. It's still like fully functioning, it's not like broken at all. I probably will use this again for future projects just because this is really comfy. Again, with the tray, I found that very easy to use. All of the diamonds went flat in there, and because it had this little funnel, I could pour it into the bags themselves. And finally, with the wax, hopefully you can see that I used hardly any of it. I definitely found the best trick. I've tried a few different ways, but the best trick is just to literally stab the pen in, and there's sort of a hole at the end of the pen part, and the gel gets kind of stuck up there, which means it stays sticky for, I'd say, I probably have to do this every hour, so it probably stays sticky for about an hour's worth. It's definitely the best technique I found, and it doesn't leave any like residue or anything. So that's that done. The last thing I need to do, it says, is to put a book on it and push it down, so I'm just going to find a book quickly. Okay, so the wardrobe next to me is full of children's books, so I've just got like a Disney collection book, but it says just to put the book on top and push down. Obviously not too hard because you don't want to somehow smash them, but this is just to make sure that they're all stuck down and there's no strays, because a few of them do kind of fly off of the little pen and you just can't find them, and I have found a few little strays have sort of attached themselves elsewhere. But that is my pattern finished. I'm now going to have to try and find a frame for this to fit in. The design is 11 by 14 inches, so it makes it very easy to find a frame, and of course you've got this background. Recommend So and So if you're in the UK, because you can buy smaller patterns, you can buy bigger patterns, different shaped gems, and you can choose one that would really suit you, because you definitely want to do a picture that's going to interest you. Obviously I'm a crazy cat lady and I especially love black cats, so this one was perfect, but they have flowers and various different animals. I've seen a lot of peacocks and things, so you can definitely find one that will suit your personality. So I will leave all links down below. If you guys are interested in seeing any other diamond painting projects that I'm doing, please do leave a comment down below and let me know. I have ordered a lot, and I mean a lot, of Halloween ones and other black cat ones, so they're all going to be kind of this sort of spooky and dark theme. But then I have also ordered some nature themed ones and autumn trees and things like that, so let me know if you'd like another video like this. Potentially I won't film all of the process, I may just show you what I start with and what I end with, unless you guys do like watching the process. But either way, really relaxing craft. It did take, I'd probably say, about 5 hours overall to make this, so it's relatively quick depending on how quick you class that, but in contrast with cross stitch, it's definitely a lot quicker, and I'm so pleased with the effect. So thank you so much for watching. If you do have any questions or comments, please do leave them down below. If it's sunny where you are, I hope you're enjoying the shade, and I'll see you next time. Bye!